Drive your old car, support your local bands, and watch John Yao Media.
It's my 1930 Ford AA. I found it in a field that was going to a junkyard when I got it. I saved it basically. I've had it for 7 years. I hand built virtually all of the truck. I shortened it 6 feet, put it down on the ground. It's got a 4-bar racing suspension underneath it. It's a suicide front end. It was originally on a farm that raised chickens. And in 1930, the wife of the original owner, her husband would load chickens and eggs and stuff and take it to town on the buggy. Well, she didn't like that he had to leave in the dark and he wouldn't come home till it was dark. So she saved pennies, dimes, nickels and bought him this truck. And I bought it from the grandson of the original owner. So technically I'm the second owner of this truck.
Wow, that's pretty cool. How long have you had this?
I've had this truck 7 years.
Okay.
I've gone through several back surgeries, but I did finish it. I finished it about a month ago. It's given me no problems in that month, but it's early yet.
It was just sitting on a farm.
Yeah, it's been sitting since 1967. I still have the original plates.
Oh wow! They parked it in '67 on the farm and just left it.
Under some trees, just left it because the motor was shot.
So they drove it maybe like 30 years and then they parked.
Well, from 1930 till '67. It rides terrible. I fixed it up the best I could. Everybody that looks at it seems to like it.
How far did you drive today?
About an hour and a half, 78 miles.
That was an okay drive, just not too
No, it's horrible. It rides really bad. The seat is wood. We've got a couple little cushions on the seat. It only holds 9 gallons of gas.
Wow.
I get just over 11 miles to the gallon.
Do you carry extra gas with you?
I got a 2-gallon gas can.
Okay.
But I stop at almost every gas station I see. So.
That's a long road trip then, to stop at every gas station.
And when I go to Yuba, which is Labor Day, it's about a 2.5 hour drive.
So you gotta know where the gas stations are when you're going.
Yeah, you don't pass one. Every town I go through, I stop and check my fuel.
Are you thinking about getting a bigger gas tank on this?
No. That gas tank is 100 years old. And no, I carry that around Iola for half a day. So I'm going to have it. It had a couple leaks, fixed those, but I can't get another tank like that. Nobody makes them anymore.
Okay.
So
you're looking for something original, but you can't find it.
Right.
You don't want to put something
Or
else.
even a reproduction, but the guys that used to make it, they don't make them anymore.
Wow, that's really hard to find.
The bed, the wood on the bed is pallets from a crane company. They make cranes for the railroad trucks. They put them on, and the wood is from one of those pallets.
It's a very nice truck bed.
The bed itself was 6 feet longer, but from being pushed around and other things, it was mangled, and that's how much I could save. The mud flaps I found on the shoulder of the road different times. The mud flap bracket is made out of a bed frame that I found in somebody's garbage. The box on the back contains solenoids and a battery. The roof panels are made from the sides of the hood. When I originally put it together, I put the mock-up engine in it. And when I put the radiator in it, I had no room for a fan. So I had to cut engine and transmission loose, slide it back 2.5 inches, and then put it all back together, and I've got probably 3/4 of an inch clearance now.
You did a lot of work on this.
Yeah. I got a deal on a 400 transmission, and when I originally built it, It had a 350 transmission. Well, the 400 is considerably larger. When I set the cab on it, the cab did not fit over the transmission.
Oh wow, so it's a lot of trial and error. And
So I had to take the cab off again, cut a bunch of the structure out from underneath it, and then refit everything, and I got it to fit.
oh, that is pretty cool.
Thank you.
What year again did you say this
1930 AA.
was? 30 AA. Do you see any of these that shows, other ones?
No. I see AA's that are restored. I joined a club when I first bought this that was specific to AA's, and they asked me what I was going to do with it. And I said, build a hot rod. Well, you'd think I'd said there was no God. They were bashing on me, and oh, another truck is being destroyed and this and that. I said, well, I could spend $40,000, restore it, have something worth $15,000, and putt down the road at 30 miles an hour. I prefer to spend $15,000 and putt down the road at 80 miles an hour.
I like to see people take vehicles and just make them their own.
Yeah.
I don't care if they're not original, I just like to see them the way the owner envisions it.
Yeah. Well, when I got it off the trailer at home, I sat down with a 12-pack of Paps in my lawn chair and just stared at it for several hours, and this was what I saw.
I like it.
And people said, well, you should do this and you should do that. I said, well, why don't I do it my way? And I didn't listen to anybody, and I did it my way. I've been contemplating cutting the roof off, but then I can't put it back on. And I contemplated painting it black, but then it took 90 years to get this way,
I like that patina on there, it looks really good.
and it's not fake. The bottom of the body was rotted up about 2 inches. There was no floor, there were no sub rails, no windows in it, and I just left no windows in it. I made a plywood floor. I channeled the cab over the frame, so I actually raised the floor 6 inches. In 1930, the average man in America was 5'4". I'm 5'8", so I took 6 inches out of that floor.
So your head's hitting the
I'm pretty
ceiling.
close, yeah. I have about an inch of head clearance. I tried minivan seats. I tried modifying minivan seats. I tried scratch building seats, but the steering wheel was always here. So I went to a local lumber yard, bought $40 worth of, I don't know, some wood that was on sale. And then I made the seat that's in it now.
Are you looking to make it more comfortable, or you're okay with
I was
it?
looking, so the steering wheel is in the proper position. It's a very tiny cab. If I was 6'1", I probably couldn't drive it. Gas pedal I made. Brake pedal is out of a meat grinder handle. I made the front shocks. I made the frame. I did all the wiring, all the plumbing.
So the frame just kind of rusted away when it was sitting at the farm?
It had been welded many times. It was a 1.5 ton truck. And it had been welded and bent and twisted and rotten. And
I think it's kind of amazing that you just parked at the farm and they just let it sit all that time.
yeah.
They never got rid of it or traded it in or took
Oh, it
to
was
the junkyard?
Grandpa's truck, I guess.
Oh,
The grandson I bought it from was 72 at the time. So I need to get to see him to show him what I did. I saw a picture of the original truck with his grandfather, his father, and him.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And I'm going to try to get a copy of that, and I'll carry that in the truck.
It's pretty cool to say that you're the second owner of this.
Yeah,
That is pretty cool
in 90 plus years.
for about a 90-year-old vehicle.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a pretty cool story.
Thank you.
Well, good luck driving home in that.
Yeah, it's the last half hour is pretty rough. But
Well, at least you fit in there.
yeah,
And all the gauges work, steering wheel.
everything but my voltmeter, and I don't know why. Yeah, it steers fine. I was surprised. I did a lot of measuring to make sure the axles are straight. And when I took it out of my shop the first time, It drove straight down the road, no hands.
And you did all this work yourself?
Yes. The only thing I didn't do was build the transmission. The block is from a 72 Chevy pickup. It's a 010. It's high in nickel. It's a really strong block. The heads are bow tie Chevy heads. I'm told the best heads, iron heads, Chevrolet ever made.
How do you know how to do all this? What do you do for a regular job?
I was a mechanic for 45 years.
Okay, that's why.
And I've always liked Chevys from the time I saw my grandmother's 57 Bel Air.
The 50s cars are good.
Yeah, 50 cars are awesome. So, but I hate body work. If you look close at the panels I replaced, they're just cobbled in there.
Well, I think that's okay.
I tack welded them like you're supposed to, and welded them and put a skim coat of Bondo over it.
You're just making it your own.
And then I took a sanding block and started sanding and went, screw this. Took my 4-inch grinder, put a sanding head on it, took the Bondo down to nothing.
But it runs good.
Yeah, it runs great.
I think that's the main thing. As long as it runs good, you can get around in it.
Yeah, someone gave me the fire extinguisher I use for the overflow tank. Somebody gave me a horn they found in a lumberyard attic.
Oh,
It's
wow.
called a foghorn. It's got a really odd tone. The mirrors, I was told, are off a 30-something Dodge. It's 4-wheel disc brakes, manual steering, manual brakes.
I don't think it looks pieced together. It just looks almost factory and normal.
I was shooting for that. I wish I could meet one of the original builders of these trucks and say, you know, what do you think? But
yeah, I don't think they're around anymore.
I don't think they are. There's probably a few yet.
Something that old, I wouldn't know if it's factory or not or pieced together. 50s or 60s, I don't know, but I think it looks pretty good.
When all the kids in high school were jonesing over Camaros and Firebirds and Trans Ams, I liked Model A's.
Just something a little
I was
different.
the weird kid. Yeah, but this was my first chance to actually get my hands on a Model A for a reasonable price. So this is what I came up with. My gas gauge is a wooden stick, and just got to dip the stick and see where it is. That's about all I can tell you.
Well, I appreciate all that. Well, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Subscribe and share this video. Go ahead, share it. I'll wait.